This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Industry Focus.
Deana Haworth, Chief Operating Officer for Haworth, shares insights into the ever-changing landscape of advertising and how it evolves to suit the needs of today's businesses.
So our industry in advertising and public relations changes every day. Probably the biggest thing that's facing our clients and our partners is just how fractured audience is now. So there are lots of media platforms, lots of different ways that people can access information.
Just like you and I, when we consume information on a daily basis, we are looking at different channels. So we're watching television, we're driving down the road and see a billboard. We are on social media in the evening catching up with our friends, and there's all these different channels, and making sure that you're in front of the right audience in multiple ways really just plants that seed with them multiple times, and we need that recurring frequency so that when they're ready to find services with a business like yours, they know who to reach out to.
All of them can be at some cost to an advertiser, so it's really important for you to understand very distinctly your target audience, the market that you're seeking, and focus like a laser on that, because otherwise you can spend a lot of money and have waste to do something that maybe boosts your ego or tells your friends about your business, but doesn't really move the needle on your business development and growth.
I think advertising will continue to evolve. There's a time and a place to use lots of different channels, and I don't think those are going away. There were days, 10 years ago where people thought print was dead, and people thought, television, there's some cables taking the way, and there's, people are being cord cutters. So there's all these things that are being added to the mix. I don't think anything is going away. I think it's just evolving in how it's being used. So when you think about a user and how many screens they have in front of them in any given day, it's just understanding how do you get in front of the right screen at the right time.
People are consuming media, they're getting their news, they're getting information that matters to them in so many different ways. And as business leaders are trying to break through that clutter, understanding how to do that in the most direct and memorable way is tougher and tougher each day. We're really watching carefully these young audiences. So think of those 15 to 18-year-olds that you know in your life and how different their media consumption is than what we were all accustomed to even at a young age. So what are they going to look at when they're 25 and 35 years old? We need to all be pushing ahead and thinking about those media mechanisms and how we might best communicate and continue to reach our customers.